Alright guys, hey, welcome back to the channel, and we are working on the 67 Mustang. So we got some stuff apart here. I got the fuel injection off, got the radiator out. I did blacken it. Looks good. Little note, when you go to spray it, scuff it down a little bit and then use a little bit of acetone. It cleans it up good and also lets the paint adhere to it, because it's aluminum. You want to do it right. Alright, so I'm gonna film this too a little bit, but I'm gonna take the supercharger off the front, the water pump, alternator, all the brackets. This is completely crusted up. The car sat for a few years. Unfortunately, I was away for work, and noisy trash truck. Yep. Okay, and then you know, that's what happens with the heat. Anyway, so I'm gonna pull this stuff off. Gonna knock the shine off, as I said in the previous video. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the supercharger, as far as leaving it aluminum looking, or I don't know. They were blue on the Shelbys, like the engine. I know this is not the correct one for a Shelby, but it's actually a better one. But what I want to get away from is just things. It looks cruddy. You know, I'd rather get this engine compartment looking nice, spray paint the motor, do something with the intake. Yeah, I kind of wish I went the route that I want to go now prior, because now it's obviously more work and I probably paid a little bit more for stuff that's polished. Anyway, you know what? Live and learn. So this is the update up front here. I did take off the, you can see down here, I took the blower motor off, and the trash guy just picked up the heater box in the trash can. This is all empty in here except for a couple pigtails. May have showed you before, but we did take more apart. You can see back there if it's enough light. Heater box is gone. I am going to be looking for some vintage air parts. I don't know if anybody has stuff laying around for 67. I mainly want to get the box in there and the heater control stuff together, because I really don't feel like taking the dash apart again. I don't care if I set everything up front yet, because that's easy to get to, but I kind of want to get everything done in the car, you know. I'm backpedaling here a little bit. I'm not sure if I want to actually change the 67 column to the 68, which is collapsible, and I don't know, because the wiring on the 68 one is pretty bad and this one's decent. I don't know. We'll have to see, because I am going to be adding power steering using a Toyota Cressida steering box, so some of this stuff is coming apart anyway. But we're making some good progress here, and I like where everything's going. Just taking a little bit of time. It's hot. Working on other cars as well, so we're just you know, my stuff is secondary, which is, this is my stuff. Yeah. So anyway, the gauge cluster is all together. Got our gas gauge, got a clock, 140 mile an hour speedometer, 8,000 RPM tach with a 6,000 red line, and the boost gauge. Let's flip this over. This is all wired up. This port will be for the boost gauge. Yeah, pretty much it is what it is here. For some of you who, like me, had to ask, right here is a voltage regulator. This is the box it came in. Looks like the part number is C6DZ-10804-A. And basically what this does is it reduces the voltage down to around 3 to 4 volts, which the gas gauge needs to run at. Your other gauges that would be in here, believe it, temp and the oil pressure will feed off this as well, because it needs to have a voltage drop. Important thing to do if you're messing around with your gauge cluster. You want to test that too, because I had 2 of these and they were dead, so couldn't figure out how they worked because I was trying to read voltage off it. So but someone online clarified for me, which was nice. So I got my harness all ready to go. This side goes into the car. Got to get that all wired. I have an extra pigtail here on either side, just in case I forget something. So it worked out where I had an extra lead. That was pretty good. Diggy. I got my doggy right here. He's being the inspector, right? So that's pretty much it. This is actually a neat clock here. It runs off of a regular AA battery here. Yeah, put it in like so, and see the clock moving. Pretty neat. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to use. I don't think I'm gonna run it much. You adjust it back here. It really not very easily serviceable. It's, I don't know. I really just wanted a clock in there because that's what they had in the Shelbys. So I just wanted to make it look the part. Alright. Well, just wanted to do an update. Look at this thing. It's blue. Why are you so blue today? Are you okay? Well, we did a motor color change today, and I think it came out pretty good. It's pretty vibrant Ford blue. It will calm down a little bit. I also took the intake manifold off as promised, and so if you remember in the previous videos, this was polished. So what I did is I scuffed it down and acetoned it, and then I did with a aluminum colored paint. So it still has the kind of like the tone of, it's a toned down thing. It's not exactly where I wanted it, to be honest, color wise, but it's much better than the polish. This will also dull out a little bit once it gets heated up and ran for a little bit. So I think it will just, blend in. But anything's better than the polish that I had right now, because I won't take care of the polish. Next is the blower supercharger, and try to figure out what to do with this thing. I think I'm just going to keep it in its former glory cast. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about doing a different color on it, but I think I'm just going to do the brackets different color to offset it, and plus get a little color on it. We'll see. We got the alternator, and the water pump. This thing got really filthy. The motor was really dirty inside, and I was cleaning it out and it was just pouring all over it, so I got to get this thing all cleaned up and painted. It's actually a decent water pump too. It's an Edelbrock. It's been working good, and it's a good alternator. I'm just going to knock the shine off this as well, and those brackets will probably go black. So this is where we're at right now. Oh, also, whoa, also, radiator. It's black. Looks good. So, one thing I'd like to talk about radiators when you paint them is, I see if I have. I don't think I have the. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. So let me set this up here. This is Walmart paint, like Color Place. It's actually about $1 for this. It is probably the cheapest paint you could buy on the market now. It's very thin, and it takes a lot to cover. I used the whole can on the radiator. But the reason I'm using cheap paint is not to save money, but the paint's very thin, and you want the radiators to breathe. And if you put really thick paint on them, they don't dissipate the heat very well. So, and an old radiator guy, pretty old dude, taught me this trick years ago. So I've been doing it ever since. So, well, we'll keep updating you, keep watching, and we will see you tomorrow.